Ravnica Legions previews are coming at us way sooner than I expected, and oh baby are they nice! I can't wait to explore this new set with you. Previews are going to be thrown at us all week apparently, so prepare your butts. I do hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, remember to hit that like button, it helps out a lot. Gate Colossus is 8 mana for an 8/8 artifact creature construct. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each gate you control. Gate Colossus can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Whenever a gate enters the battlefield under your control, you may put Gate Colossus from your graveyard on top of your library. As far as gate synergy cards go, this one's pretty sweet, oftentimes way cheaper than 8 mana. This 8/8 is a real big boy that can recur very easily and can't be chump blocked effectively. I've been excited for more gate cards, and this is a great start. I can't wait to make this deck in standard work somehow. Lavinia, Azorius Renegade is 1 white and 1 blue for a 2/2 legendary creature human soldier. Each opponent can't cast non-creature spells with converted mana costs greater than the number of lands that player controls. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. I love Azorius and I love Lavinia. This version of Lavinia is a crazy hoser for any deck that cheats cards out. Tron hits them pretty bad. Any mana creatures like Llanowar Elves or Birds of Paradise. Delve is destroyed in Modern. Anything with alternative casting cost that makes said cost much lower than normal. The list is legit endless. Then the second ability, hilarious. If no mana was spent to cast a card, counter it. This ability is bananas. Counters suspend cards like Living End, cards that are cast from Living End, no pack, summoners, or negation. Lavinia forces unfair decks to be a little fairer, and that's awesome. Go Lavinia. The Hauntify Tower is the buy box promo, 4 of anything and 2 black for a 3/3 legendary creature vampire with flying and lifelink. Whenever it attacks, defending player discards a card where a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere. Put a +1/+1 counter on the haunt. The card's interesting for a commander play, but since it's the buy box promo, it won't be available for limited, and that really limits its value. Vampires is a popular strategy in commander, so maybe this can fit in there, or some type of mass discard deck, maybe Nekasar. I'm not super excited about this one, but that's probably because we've had past promos like Nexus of Fate and Fire Song, so pretty hard to top those. Rakdos Firewheeler is the Rakdos contribution to the 4 mana uncommon cycle of 4/3 human rogue. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target opponent and 2 damage up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. So what we're looking at is a Viashino Pyromancer that is very angry and comes with a decent sized body. The mana is intensive, but for a 4/3 that spreads 4 total damage, not bad. I don't think it'll be as impactful as Crackling Drake, but it's a nice top end for a Rakdos aggro deck, especially one that relies more on creatures and doesn't want to share the spotlight with Experimental Frenzy. It's a good uncommon. New mechanic time, Rixmati Reveler is 2 mana for a 2/2 human shaman with a spectacle cost of 2, a black and a red. You may cast the spell for spectacle cost rather than its mana cost if an opponent lost life this turn. When the Reveler enters the battlefield, discard a card, then draw a card. If the Reveler's spectacle cost was paid, instead discard your hand, then draw 3 cards. This is an excellent 2 mana card. Wow, 2 mana for a 2/2 that rummages on entry at the very least is really good in aggressive red decks, but then that spectacle, it makes this 2/2 valuable in the late game if you draw it. It turns from a 2/2 that rummages into a 4 mana 2/2 that will basically draw you 3 cards. In Rakdos decks, card draw is incredibly valuable, and Spectacle seems like a solid way to give draw to aggressive strategies. This card is very good, and the mechanic is flavorful and strong. I'm loving this, and I don't even play a red. It's crazy. Light Up the Stage is a new promo from Ravnica Legions, 3 mana for a sorcery with a spectacle cost of 1 red. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Holy crackerjacks. This is just 1 mana to draw 2 cards. It says the end of your next turn, not this turn, next turn. That gives you an entire untapped step to work with. In an aggressive deck that can cause life loss without a problem, this is 1 mana to draw 2 cards. What an explosive ability. Drawing cards in red is terrifying. Simic Ascendancy is 1 green and 1 blue for an enchantment. You can pay 3 mana and put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature you control. Put that many growth counters on Simic Ascendancy. At the beginning of your upkeep, if the Ascendancy has 20 or more growth counters on it, you win the game? What? Just how? How in the world is this fair? How? Simic Ascendancy is so dumb. You know what the most popular commander is right now? Atraxa. Can you guess why? I'm not even sure how to feel about this for commander alone. It's gonna win so many games, so many. Now beyond the format, I think this confirms that we're looking at Simic in a +1/+1 counter context again in this set, which means Evolve may be back or something similar. I am very excited about it, but until then I will gush over the Ascendancy. Commander is just forever ruined. What a boogeyman. Nuts. Growth Spiral is one of the newest Azorius F&M promos, 1 green and 1 blue for an instant draw card. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Okay, this is Explore, but more color intensive, which means it is standard playable 100% guaranteed. The card's very good, I promise. But beyond that, and I don't say this often, it might be the most beautiful card I've seen in a long time. I mean, just look at it. Look at the text box background, the bright green and blue, Seb McKinnon's artwork. I honestly don't even know what else to say. It's absolutely constructed playable, and the card is beyond gorgeous. Mortify is back in standard. Hot dang, that's going to be so good in white-black control decks. Mortify has always been a strong card, and with this new printing, it will shine once again. Think about it. We're in a standard meta with Experimental Frenzy, Search for Azcanta, Ixalan's Binding, the Eldest Reborn, Divine Visitation. I could go on. Mortify is 100% main deckable as a versatile kill spell. Guaranteed constructed staple for the entirety of standard. Can't believe it's back. I love this set so much already. We've also been treated to the new Guild-aligned foil basic lands you can get on Ravnica weekend in February. I mean, look at these cards. I haven't been this excited for promos in a long time. Each and every one of these guilds looks better than the last. I'm not even sure how to express my feelings, which doesn't get better when we see the new packaging for the set. Dovin Bond and Domri Raid are the Planeswalker deck Planeswalkers. Kaya's on the bundle, and some crazy sadistic jester boys on the deck builder's toolkit. Here are the images of the packs themselves, where we see Domri, Kaya, and Shaco from League of Legends, joined by some Simic awesomeness and presumably Lavinia, but looking way better, hanging out with Judge's Familiar. I do like that. This is what Ravnica Allegiance looks like so far, and I'm already way too excited to deal with it. Seriously, beyond pumped. Can't wait to see what the second 5 guilds have in store for us, but based on Guilds of Ravnica, I'm sure it's a bunch of nonsense. Stay tuned to the channel all week for continuing preview coverage, and let me know what you think in the comments. I need to know how you're feeling, and as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. Ravnica Allegiance is coming up fast. These previews definitely surprised me. If you want to pre-order your boxes early and get it out of the way, you can do that right now on TCG Player by clicking the link on the screen. Already at $99 each, these boxes will be sent out as soon as the set's released. No fuss, no issues. Fair prices helps the channel. We all win. Enjoy.
What?